It's NFL Week 18, and we have 3 more of our best bets to give you for this week, and it all starts right now. Hey guys, it's Matt with GrandstandBetters.com, and we have 3 more NFL bets for this regular season week number 18 to give you. Before we get into those picks, just a reminder, if you're new to Grandstand Betters, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our picks or predictions all season long. And while you're at it, smash that like button because we are about to find out after this week the NFL Playoff Picture. So, without further ado, let's dive in to our best 3 bets of NFL Week 18. And with our first pick, we're going to look at the AFC South matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kickoff for this one is in the 1 p.m. Eastern time slot, and the Colts are favored by 15 points here with the over-under set at 44. Now, this is a win, and you're in the playoff situation for the Colts. All they have to do is beat the worst team in the NFL. However, easier said than done, as the Colts have lost 6 straight against the Jacksonville Jaguars, dating back all the way to 2014. It's a much worse Jacksonville Jaguars team, though, in recent years that the Colts are going to probably have no problem taking care of business, and a big reason for that is their running back, Jonathan Taylor. The Jaguars defense ranks 25th in the NFL, giving up 127 rushing yards per game. Taylor already put up 116 against this team earlier in the season, and if the Jags aren't able to limit his yardage and the Colts as an offense on the whole, they are going to probably put up a lot of points on the Jags defense. This team, 7th ranked in the NFL, putting up 27.5 points per game right now. On the other side of the ball, the Jaguars really struggled last week against the Patriots. They lost 50-10. Their defense has clearly given up on the season, and Trevor Lawrence just did not look good. 193 passing yards and 3 interceptions. Now, he was facing the 4th best secondary in the NFL, but he should definitely like his chances to end his rookie season at least on a better note against a Colts secondary, which is mediocre, 18th in the league. In all honesty, he is going to have to continue to throw the ball, though, on this in this game, because the Jags have been decimated at running back by injuries, which started way back at the beginning of the season with Travis Etienne being ruled out for the season. Carlos Hyde went down with a concussion a couple weeks ago, and now James Robinson is out with an Achilles injury. They do have the weapons at wide receiver in Marvin Jones and Shenault, which Lawrence will need to use to move the ball down the field to give them a chance in this game. And also, if you look deep dive into some incentive bonuses, Marvin Jones has one. So we expect him to get a lot of targets and Lawrence to look his way early. Now, the Colts should have no problem moving down the field on these Jags, especially this awful defense. In fact, the quicker they get ahead in this one, the better, because I'm sure the Colts are going to want to rest some of their starters at the beginning of the second half, maybe at least the whole 4th quarter, with a playoff spot already secured if they're leading. Now, this offense, it has been explosive. That's why they rank 3rd in the NFL in points per play, and they're just going to probably continue to do more of that this week. So, what is the best bet in this game? Well, in a game with one of the best offenses in the league going up against one of the worst defenses of the league, we wouldn't be surprised if the Colts actually put 40 points up on the Jags this week. But the Jags should be able to put up a few scoring drives together as well, as they've done in most games this season, especially in the second half if the Colts put in their backups with a comfortable lead. So, with our first bet of Week 18 in the NFL, we're going to take the Colts and the Jags over 44. Now, with the second pick of NFL Week 18, we're going to look at the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams in the 4:30 p.m. Eastern time slot. The Rams favored by 4.5 here, the over-under set at 44.5 points. 49ers coming into this one with a chance to make the playoffs despite all of the injuries they've had all season long, and they can do it very simply by winning. That would give them the 6th seed in the playoffs. Trey Lance and the 49ers did look good last week, taking care of business against the Houston Texans 23-7, and Lance looked much better in that start than he did in the previous one earlier this season. However, Jimmy G will be taking the field most likely, as he has been throwing in practice all week. His thumb injury does look to be better. And this 49ers team, let's hope they can get some consistency out of their personnel, which they've struggled to have all season long. Eli Mitchell is questionable for this game, although it does look like he is trending upwards to play. Now, despite all the time missed by key role players, they are a top NFL team in most offensive categories, but they've been most successful this season rushing the football against teams using a plethora of personnel. Even Deebo Samuel has over 50 carries on the season. Mitchell, he is the lead back, but he's only played in 10 games. He does have 900 yards and is averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Now, this week may be the toughest test, however, for the 49ers rushing attack, as they take on a very good defensive line who got a little bit extra rest this week as the veterans decided to rest on Wednesday for practice. Now, the Rams defense, though, they are 7th best in only giving up 100 yards per game on the ground. Speaking of the Rams and Matthew Stafford, after the Rams offense started this year on a tear, there has been some regression from Stafford. His yardage and touchdowns are still accumulating. However, he has thrown almost half of his interceptions on the year over the last 3 weeks. Cooper Kupp, in our opinion, this guy, the receiver for the Rams, should be a realistic MVP option this year with 138 receptions and 1,829 yards on the year, but we'll still have to wait and see how that plays out. This could make or break it for him, as he does go up against a very good defense. Now, although the 49ers have the 4th best overall defense and the 5th best passing defense in the NFL, they have not been able to translate that to interceptions on the season, ranking near the bottom half of the league in takeaways. Now, the 49ers defense has been exceptional lately. They've only given up 13 points per game over their last 3 games. However, 2 of those games were against the Falcons and the Texans, so we won't read into that too much. So, who are we betting in this game? Well, both teams have something to play for. 49ers control their own destiny by making the playoffs with a win. But the Rams have an opportunity with the Packers' loss to become the number 1 seed and claim home field advantage throughout the entire postseason, including the Super Bowl. Stafford and the Rams have not looked great over the last 5 games, although they have gone 5-0 since losing to the Packers in Week 12. We just think they've really just been going through the motions with something to play here, at least the number 2 seed with a win and possibly getting Cooper Kupp 2,000 yards on the season. We think they come out and play in this one. So with our second pick of NFL Week 18, we're going to take the LA Rams minus 4.5 over the 49ers. Now, with our final pick for Week 18, we're going to look at the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills matchup in the 4:30 Eastern time slot. Bills are favored by 16 points. Over-under set at 40.5. Bills are going to make the playoffs regardless, but what is yet to be determined is what seed they will be in. With any kind of win over the Jets, though, they are at least guaranteed the 4 seed and an AFC East title. Now, last week the Bills ended up winning by 2 touchdowns over the Falcons, but let's be honest, Josh Allen did not look great throwing the football, and the only success they really had was the 200-plus yards rushing the football on the ground to give them a win. Now, look for the Bills' MO to be the same thing early and often with Singletary on the ground, as the Jets have the 4th worst rushing defense in the NFL, giving up 135 yards per game. Once that ground game gets going and it's established, then they should have no problem throwing against another 4th worst pass defense in the NFL. Now, the Jets, they're going to be taking the field in this one just for pride and pride alone. They ended up staying under their season win total of 6 wins, which, hey, that was a nice bet for Grandstand Bettors family. We had them on a future ticket, so congratulations to everybody that cashed on that. Zach Wilson and the Jets, though, they haven't looked as bad as some other teams this season. Wilson, he's only thrown for 8 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, but overall, they are in the middle of the pack when it comes to total yards per game. Another bright spot has been Michael Carter, who dealt with some injuries this season. He's averaging actually 4.5 yards per carry, so if he could stay healthy, the future looks very good at running back for the Jets. Now look for the Jets to lean on Michael Carter heavily, as he is, I think, going to be good to go after he clears concussion protocol this week. He will face a Bills rush defense that has not been great recently, averaging 132 yards given up against them on the ground over the last 3 games. They're going to lean heavily on the run in this game because Berrios and Crowder are also questionable with injuries. I think we expect Crowder is going to play, but Berrios could end up calling it a year as he has a lingering calf injury. So injuries are a key to look for right before game time. But what is our best bet in this AFC East divisional matchup? Well, quite honestly, the Bills are going to come out, take control of this game, and see if they can't just clinch that 4 seed right away with a chance to move up as high as the number 2 seed. Caution, though, in taking the Bills spread here, as a lot of people did sit out practice, resting, and the Bills actually might try to win this game with their second string team and only play their starters for the first quarter or maybe first half of this one. We do expect Allen, though, to play and get the Bills in a comfortable position and then bring in Trubisky. Honestly, the Jets, although they have nothing to play for this week, they do have individuals who are young who are going to go out there and definitely give it their all. Wilson and Carter, a couple of them, they're going to try to put up points against what has been a mediocre defense down this home stretch. And this one may be closer than you think, but regardless of how much or little the Bills probably win by, there are going to be points by the Bills and the Jets in this game, and the total is just too low for us. So with our final pick of Week 18, we're going to take the Jets and the Bills over 40.5 points. Now, we will be live streaming the final Browns game this Sunday as they take on the Bengals at 1 p.m. Eastern, so join us for NFL Week 18 play-by-play and red zone updates. In the meantime, we are on Patreon, so if you're looking for a sports pick each and every day, head on over to Patreon. It's only $6.99 a month. The link is below in the description. While you're at it, check out grandstandbetters.com, become part of our family, and start living that grandstand life. But, as always, sit back, relax, enjoy NFL Week 18, and we'll see you live for Wild Card Weekend.